Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you a long form prompt that you can use for your blog, that you can write some really amazing blog posts that are not only going to do well from a Google standpoint, cover all the keywords that you need to include in it, but also from a headline standpoint and also from an originality standpoint, right? So it's going to pass a lot of the different markers that you're going to need. And I'm going to give you this prompt. You can go ahead and use it. Check the description. I'm also going to write a blog post about this, so I'll leave the link in the description to the blog post eventually when I release this video. There will be two links. A link in the description where you can access the prompt, you can access the details around the, post, every kind of thing you would want. And I'm going to show you guys this, a full-on tutorial here for free with the absolute best blog post prompt that you can use for both Chatgpt 3.5 and version 4, okay? I'm going to show you what plugins you need if you're going to use 4. If not, we'll just go ahead and continue with 3.5. So it doesn't really matter. Of course, 4 is always better, but you can go ahead and use 3.5 for this. All right, so here I have my blog. This is the back end of my blog, okay, or one of my many blogs. And this is a website around fitness, around health, testosterone, things like that, right? So here is, let's just pick something like, let's pick something that I did not write about. So here, how much zinc for, actually, no, this is probably a short one. This is a better one. Does eating yams increase testosterone? Now, I know I already have a very little bit of content here. You can think of it as an outline, but we'll ignore that. We're going to use this topic. And here is my prompt, my long form prompt. Now, this is a prompt I've been using over and over. Once again, I'll include this in my link in the description. It will take you to my website, and you can copy and paste it. It's going to be really good. And anything here in these 3 dots means you're going to replace, okay? So you got to go through this whole entire video with me because I'm going to show you what to replace, what to include, all that kind of stuff. So what I like to do before I even copy the title, okay, I'm just going to copy this twice, all right? So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here within Chatgpt, okay? Now, I want to include this real quick. If you're going to be using version 3.5, all right, it's going to be a little bit different than version 4. If you're going to be using version 4, then you're going to use plugins. The first plugin you need is going to be Web Pilot, okay? If you're not going to be using version 4, then don't worry about it. For my, I guess you could say for my website, for my blogs, mine is a health, fitness kind of thing. So if I use studies to back up certain information, it definitely helps. And you could see here with my blogs, the type of style, howtoboosttestosterone.org, some of you guys can go ahead and check it out if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. You could see it's science-related, stuff like that. So sometimes it's good to include different studies, things like that. So I have plugins for that. So I have Scholar AI, I have Web Pilot, and I have Wolfram, okay? Those are the 3 plugins that I'm using. You do not have to use Wolfram or Scholar AI if you're not doing anything with study-related content, all right? So it starts here. It says, hello, today we will write an article that has to be extremely specific, well-worded, and more importantly, written by a human. The audience of the article is, and this is where you're going to start writing, right? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to type in the audience, and you don't have to type all this. You can copy and paste it from my website, right? Link in the description, right? So let me go ahead, and by the way, it is going to be spelled correctly. Everything will be taken care of when you check it out. But the audience of the website of the article is young men and athletes who want to improve their testosterone levels. By the way, pay attention to the topic of my article. So for me, the topic of my article is right here, which is does eating yams increase testosterone, right? So first I had to kind of give it information on who's actually going to be reading this kind of stuff, all right? Young men, I'm also going to type in old men here as well. Old men and athletes who want to improve their testosterone levels, okay, period. The website that serves this audience is, and I'm going to go ahead and type in my website name. So my website domain name, howtoboosttestosterone.org, okay? And here I have a little thing in parentheses that says, look it up if you feel it may help you. So I'm telling the AI this, right? The title of the article is Okay, and this is where I'm just going to copy and paste the title that I have. So you guys are going to do the same. So at this point, most of the stuff you just wrote is pretty basic. You're just telling it who the ideal reader is, the website name, or domain name rather, and the title of your article. Okay, and then here's a lot of information. This is where the information starts. It says, in this article, I require markdown style with H2 to start. Make sure that the article extends from H2 to H4 style headings. Let the article include both bullet point concepts and paragraph concepts. Let me go ahead and get rid of this, and paragraph concepts. Okay, let headings be bolded before each headline begins. Break things down with a indicator if it is an H2 to H4. So for example, and then I kind of went over here and wrote H3 dash foods that improve health, then and that's kind of like the heading, right? That's the heading. Then the writing continues to the paragraph text, right? So I'm kind of explaining to it that before the headline continues, tell me what kind of headline it is. Is it an H2? Is it an H3? Is it an H4? Etc. I don't want to have to keep looking at a table of contents, right? It says make sure that the article includes studies to back up different core concepts that are brought up in the article. Once again, I already mentioned what I use for the studies. Scholar AI is one of them. I've been testing different ones. All of them, are pretty decent. Just Scholar AI is pretty decent as well. So that's just the one I'm using now. It says, this is what must be included in the article, right? And then here, I'm telling it, conjure up a list of the most frequently asked questions related to the topic. The list of questions are already answered within the article. It's okay if they're already answered in the article. However, make sure that not all the answers and questions are repeated from the contents of the article. Let this section be a quick view, quick reader section for those who need quick answers, right? And I'm going to use anchor text to go ahead and do that. So for you guys who have seen some of my articles before, whenever I have a table of contents, let's see, I didn't do the table of contents in this article. Let's go ahead and go to a different article here that I might have done that. Let's click on this one. Yep. So whenever I have something like this, I have anchor text where I click, and it takes you to that section of the article. Does that make sense? So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to use that with anchor text built in with Rocket Web Builder. Makes it super easy. All right. So yeah, by the way, if anybody wants to know, I'm not using WordPress here. This is my one of my many Rocket Web Builder blogs. All right. So here it says, let the article contain the following keywords that are considered related to keywords to the concepts that the article must encompass. Allow the keyword density to be higher for these keywords. And this is where you start adding in your keywords, right? So if I'm writing content about, let's just say, does eating yams increase testosterone? I'm going to take this, okay, and I'm going to go over here to my keyword research tool, and I'm just going to paste this and hit find keywords. And there's a lot of ways to do this. It's going to find different keywords for me. But if you look here, these keywords are popping up here for a reason. They get this data from a company called Majestic. And Majestic is connected to Google. And really, these are different keywords, right, that are somehow related to the concept of does eating yams increase testosterone. So, for example, around the concept does eating yams increase testosterone, a similar thing that's brought up is foods that lower testosterone, right? So this list of keywords, I'm just going to go over here, copy them, right? So I'm going to go ahead and export them here. So copy to clipboard. And I'm going to go into my GPT, and I'm going to paste it in the keyword list. So I'm going to go here, boom, paste. And look at all these keywords now added. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, this is very important, okay? I do want to look over these keywords. Certain things like should not be included, right? So, if, for example, if my blog is all about males, it should include any information about females, right? That's something that's logical. It's not, I'm not trying to be, let me go ahead and stop this. I do not want it to generate, because I'm in the middle of reading. All right, it is what it is. Let's just go ahead and leave it. But, let's continue reading here. So I added the keywords, and then here it says, we will begin by writing an outline that will serve as a table of contents for the article, right? So we're beginning with an outline. Remember that this article will need to range from 2,000 to 3,000 words. Maintain this frame, and this part is very important, okay? This is essentially the language that you use to interact within the playground to tell it to behave a certain way, all right? So you could see here, look what it's doing. This outline is now my table of contents, effectively. Okay, so you could see here I have different concepts. We have the introduction, brief introduction to the topic, importance of testosterone to the body, role of diet in testosterone levels. Heading number 2, right? Like the next one, and notice how it says H2, H2. So I know which one is going to be H2. All right. It says what are yams? Nutritional profile of yams. Okay. Here we have yams and testosterone, the connection. So this is now a breakdown, right, into what goes under this one, right? So we're going into how yams can increase testosterone levels, studies supporting the connection. Everything in the bullet points is just explaining what has to go on in the content. And then here we have wild yam and bodybuilding. So now it's starting to include some of those keywords that I added, right? And the reason why I know that is because I caught this keyword here in the list, right? So let me go ahead and add it in the list here. It says wild yam somewhere here. I know that for a fact. Yep, wild yam bodybuilding. So that's a keyword. Now, think of it this way, guys. This keyword gets 10 searches a month, right? So there's not many people searching for this, but guess what happens? I've told you guys this before. Different articles can rank from an adjacent concepts, right? It's called adjacent keyword ranking, can rank for different keywords, right? So my article about does eating yams increase testosterone, I could rank in position, let's say 2 or 3 for this small keyword of 10 searches. Maybe it's for another keyword, I could rank in position 4 or 5, right? I can rank in position 1 or 2 for another keyword. So every single one of these keywords has a really strong search index. Some have 11,000, some have 400. To me, the number is really not as relevant. I look at more competition. Now, this is not a keyword research episode. I literally have a whole entire playlist on that you guys can see the link in the description for that. I have a whole entire playlist in my YouTube channel about keyword research. However, I have articles that I don't rank in position 1 to 3 for any of the keywords for those specific articles, but I have like maybe, let's say, 10 or 15 keywords that I rank in positions anywhere from 4 to like 7. And each one might get like 50 clicks here, 20 clicks here, 13 clicks here, 12 clicks here, and then they all add up for that one page. Do you see what I'm saying? So a lot of the times people are always trying to get to the first position. It's great, super competitive, but I'll take anything, that comes with traffic, right? Because traffic equals money, it equals clicks, it equals sales, etc. So this kind of helps out, and I can definitely rank for that, especially if Google sees that I'm including a lot of different information. So notice how this takes it all the way to a level 4, H4. And if you don't like it, you could always switch it up. You could always fix things. Just because the AI says it has to be a certain way doesn't mean, that's the case. AI has not taken over human beings just yet. So here we have H2, testosterone boosting foods, and it will list them. And I would actually probably, this is good, but it would serve as an alternative, like an alternative to yams, for example, for whatever reason that you can't eat them, right? And so it'd be a list of foods. And then here we have testosterone lowering foods. Now this is intelligent, right? So the article presents certain foods that are boosting testosterone. Well, what about foods that lower testosterone? And it also just so happens that the word lowering testosterone is also included in one of these keywords. So foods to lower testosterone. And that's related to the concept of eating yams. So Google might pick up this information and say, you know what? This article might be good for, a certain position, right? And then here we have natural testosterone boosters, okay? And then we have yams and estrogen, how it connects to estrogen. Now, I'm not sure if that keyword is here somewhere. Yep, it actually is. Yams estrogen, 150. Search volume. Now, it's not the exact same word, but once again, adjacent keywords are a thing, right? So Google does rank you for adjacent keyword terms. How to increase testosterone naturally, okay? What I would actually include in this is I would include a supplementation kind of concept, like supplements, whatever, around boosting testosterone, and that would also lead to affiliate links, right? So that helps. And then here we have H2s, which is the most frequently asked questions about yams and testosterone. Okay, conclusion 2, recap main points, final thoughts, recommendations. And then here, boom, we have the outline. So if we're happy with this, right, I can tell it, or maybe even if we're not happy, I can tell it alter the, or I could even say add in, right? Add in a paragraph in the content about supplementation, right? I noticed the blog was missing things about supplements and recommended supplements, specifically for testosterone boosting, right? And there's a whole lot of grammatical errors with that, but you could see here, it's taking care of that now. So it's fixing that, it's adding it in. Once that gets added in, I could say, okay, let's start writing the article now. Begin. All right, just like that. And so here, let's see where it included any information about supplements. Let's see. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I can add a section. Here's a detail outline. So there we go. Testosterone boosting supplements. So it added it right there under natural testosterone boosters. That's intelligent. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and start writing. And so when it starts writing, right, yes, you can copy and paste, but I definitely recommend you improve on certain things. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute, because if we look here as it's working, sometimes I like to go deeper into things. So let's go ahead and read this. It says, understanding yams. Yams are a type of tuber vegetable, similar to sweet potatoes, but with some key differences. They are native to Africa and Asia, and this is moving, so it's a little hard to read. But they're known for their high nutritional value. Yams are rich in fiber, potassium, manganese. Okay, they contain a wide compound called disogenin, which is used to the production of various steroids, including progesterone and dehydroepiandrosterone, DHEA, a precursor to testosterone. In this case, right, I would want this paragraph to have an H3. I would probably make this an H2, and I would add an H3 here about what DHEA is and how it contributes to testosterone. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you guys to just blindly copy and paste here. I would tell you to improve it certain ways, right? So if I have this paragraph, so let's go ahead and take that paragraph, and where was the paragraph that I was reading? Right here, right? And this is, let me just go into Rocket Web Builder here. Let's just assume this is where it belongs. I'm going to add my paragraph here. I'm going to go in with my title, right? Understanding yams, and it's a H2, so I'm only copying the actual headline here. And I'm going to paste it right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an additional line of text, and I'm going to tell my AI built into Rocket Web Builder, I'm going to tell it, I'm going to write generate text, I'm going to tell explain what DHEA is and how it can boost testosterone if it can, right? So this is, my grammar is terrible. I have my microphone in front of my computer, so it's hard to even see the keyboard. Explain what DHEA is, and you can see here, like, I missed the S. I hit S instead of D. Anyways, submit. So it's going to turn this section of text into everything that I'm telling it to do. It's powered by GPT-4, right? And so here, right, it's trained to be a SEO expert, the AI. And so it says DHEA, short for blah, 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 is a hormone. And see, notice it doesn't take this line into consideration. So obviously I might have to like clear out this line or whatever. But I could say here, DHEA is a hormone, right? produced by the adrenal glands. It plays a crucial role, energy levels, etc. And then it says here, research suggests that DHEA supplements can potentially increase testosterone levels with low levels of this hormone. By increasing DHEA, the body may have a greater supply of precursors to produce hormone. This in turn can potentially lead to an increase in testosterone levels, provide several benefits, etc. However, it's important to note that DHEA supplementation might not have the same effect on everyone. So like this stuff, right? You have the AIs always write stuff like this, which is basically the disclaimer type content. I'm sure the creators of GPT made sure that that's the case so they don't get sued. I can always take this down and shorten it down because this is always being written, these disclaimers. And I think overall it is important to have some sort of disclaimers in your articles and things like that. But you could see here I just shortened it down. It says DHEA supplementation may vary on its effects, things like that. While it could potentially increase testosterone, cause professional guidance is necessary, etc. So you could see here, just by using these tools, I created a paragraph that was once this into all of this. And I could add more to it, right? So I could list like benefits of whatever this is called, what is that? Diogenin? I don't know what that is. But you get the point. So I could do the same thing here. I could go to my text and I could say here, what is, boom, diogenin is if that's diogenin. I don't know what that's called, but there you go. So I'm going to paste it and then here the content is written, right? So, and what I would do is I would put the additional H4s here, H5s, etc. if I would need to do that. So this would have a heading, right? I might even include an image. I might actually even use a block here. So I could use a block like this, and let's see here, maybe an image like a football player or something. I would shorten this down. I'd get rid of this, right? Something like that. And I would include some information. So I would ask the question, what is, right? And then paste this here. Obviously make it all capitals just so the formatting is nice. But you get the point. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to do it in front of you guys to actually explain. But then I would copy something like this. And this would be too long. So I'd ask it to shorten, right? And it would shorten it down for me. And once it's a little bit shorter, I can take this and I can paste it somewhere here. Obviously, I would have to get rid of some of the padding in the columns, so I would make this a 3-column section. I would move the text to the left. I would probably make this a 2-column section. Let's go ahead and do that. So 2-column section, right? All my text is here on the left. My image is on the top. I would include a column here, have my title here. Get rid of, so if this is a product that could potentially be an affiliate product, I would keep a button. In this case, because I haven't read what this says, I am not going to keep the button. But once again, if there's a chance where I can sell a product, I would. And I would get rid of this. Let's see here, what does this say? Through affiliate marketing, that is, by the way, in reference to selling the product. And that would be like a little section right there that I just added to. But I would have like an image of an athlete or something, that relates to whatever this says here. So hopefully you guys see my point of view on all this. I'm going to get to writing this blog post. Of course, like I said, I'm not going to just copy blindly. I'm going to add some stuff in. I'm going to remove some stuff. I'm going to, give more information about certain things. But in terms of the information and the word count, it's all about how deep do you want to go into it. But one of the most beneficial things, like I said, is utilizing these keywords, specifically here for the recommended concepts, right? The recommended keywords that should be included in your article. You can think of this as recommended keywords, adjacent keywords, LSI, whatever you want to call this. And the total search volume just for this article is 148,000. Right? And this is an article that normally, just keyword for keyword, gets 30 search volume. This is one of the things that in my website, we actually go over. I want to actually show you guys, cashcownichesites.com. There's a few different products that I sell, but on one of them, which is this one, it's an ebook where I go in depth on how to monetize, right? And I'm very, very specific. When you monetize your articles, when you monetize your blog posts, what you want to do is you want to find these niche concepts. somebody from the outside might look at this and say, well, there's only 30 search volume. Remember, I'm not banking on just 30. I got so many other keywords I could potentially rank for because Google fortunately allows me to do that, right? Adjacent keyword ranking. Just by having content in my articles, that helps me do that. And the traffic comes from all different sources. I'm serving different needs, but more important, I'm very, very niche. And being niche is not a bad thing. It helps us generate more income, right? Because the consumer is more informed, they have more information on what they already know, and they want a certain result. They want a certain outcome. So we could do that with our blogs. All right, guys? I'll leave a link in the description to this keyword research tool if you happen to want to use it. I'll leave a link in the description to the blog post where you can get this prompt here. I'll leave a link in the description to the video series where I teach how to actually use this and how to make, I guess you could say, use of it so that it could help your business and your blogs. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon. All right, peace out, bye.